go ahead and give them the rundown here, Craig. We need to let y'all know who Chaos is.
Let me tell you the backstory, man. This dude was responsible for some of the illest joints in hip hop. You know, and he also made your favorite record, Rick. Why you wanted to go do that?
Right.
By T.I. He also did joints for Ludacris, R. Kelly, Jay-Z, Rick Ross, and more. But right now, man, he's doing it for the babies.
Multi-platinum hip-hop producer Kevin Khao joining with some of the greats from the civil rights era to, in their words, bridge the gap.
It is our fault that we dropped the baton.
You know, right away I have to say there was mutual admiration for one another. I know that I guess in my way, in both ways, we've taken each other under our wing. I like to say that I just took him under my wing, but he did the same for me. Just to give you a little bit of background, he was telling me all about Bridge the Gap.
But as I spoke, I began to tell the hip-hop generation that we didn't do our job in terms of passing the torch. And I committed to the people there that, in the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King, that we can't let that be a failure.
You're really helping to change the life of youth by bringing them together with pop culture. So you and I know there is a solution, and I thank you for being part of it. It's Bridge the Gap.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Kevin Hart. Because right now they're doing numerous amounts of positive things, and they're actually making an impact. Bridge the Gap is a movement, and I'm happy to be a part.
I'm not sure that, Khao, that everybody understands what you are doing for kids of America, and for those of us who know a lot about the educational system, it's a pretty abysmal out there for our kids. The environment is not good for a high school graduation rate. So his program is extremely important, and he's using music and hip hop, speaking in kids' language.
I'm a part of the charity that I'm a part of, which is called Bridge the Gap, where we put in, thank you. We put in curriculum in a school that helps kids deal with, bullying, anything from alcohol, drugs, gangs, losing a family member. Yeah, Khao, Kevin Cates, who's like the incredible brain behind putting this program together. Yes, give it up for Khao. He loves the kids, and he's just a passionate person, and so he did tracks to every single one of the lessons and everything that's in the curriculum, and me and him teach the lesson in the class, and it's kind of going all over the U.S. now, and we want kids to go to the website, and if they want it in their school, to just say, hey, we want it.
Hello, I'm here with Kevin Khao Cates.
How you doing, brother?
I'm well. Tell me, how did the connection come from the music industry to politics?
That's a very good question, and I say that because I never asked to be in politics in any kind of way. This all started from a faith walk, and with me being a music producer, my father would always tell me it's one thing to be successful and another thing to be significant and actually leave a legacy behind. And I didn't really understand what that meant, and after my dad passed away, I really started to search and see how could I actually become significant? How can I actually make a difference? There was an award show I was being honored at, and there was a gentleman by the name of Dr. Charles Steele, president of the SCLC, that came to this hip hop award show and got on the stage and apologized to every single person in there for not passing the torch, and said it was a lot we can learn from each other. And at that moment, the light bulb came on and said, this is how I can become significant. Because my generation is so busy chasing the dream and chasing the money, right, to where we're repeating the process. Mm-hmm. And I knew that this was what I needed to do. So I stepped away. I took time for my music. And a lot of people thought I was crazy, but I understood that the sacrifice to become successful was hard, so why would the road to significance be any different? So I took time out and I ended up writing a textbook, and I started my nonprofit, Bridge the Gap. So Bridge the Gap is a textbook that teaches character building and life skills through music.
Right.
And it's in schools scattered out throughout the U.S. It's in after-school programs. It's in the juvenile detention centers. Office referrals are dropping by 41%. We have grade point averages rising. The class is taught via DVD by Megan Good, the actress, and myself. And it's just been a huge impact on our community. And it's been a bigger accolade than anything musically I could have ever done.
What's up, class? It's your big bro, Khao.
And it's your big sister, Megan Good.
And welcome to another edition of Bridge the Gap.
1941 was the day that Japan came and dropped bombs. December 7, 1941 was the day that Japan came and dropped bombs.
So how did the song, Like a Breath of Fresh Air, and video come about?
Bernard Brooks was telling me about Armstrong Williams, and he wanted us to meet. I met Armstrong, we hit it off. He loved what I was doing with Bridge the Gap, and he ended up putting me on the radio show. And Armstrong ended up getting on my board for Bridge the Gap, and he also ended up introducing me to Dr. Ben Carson. The rest was history.
Like a breath of fresh air.
You know, like a breath of fresh air, I wish I could take all the credit for that. But that was already there.
Okay.
Dr. Ben Carson had did a documentary prior called A Breath of Fresh Air. And as I was conversing with Armstrong Williams and asked if he had any slogans or anything that he wanted me to put in the song, he said, A Breath of Fresh Air. So it was a common thread.
As you take a stance in education to empower our youth and to see them going to another level, what's next?
You know, there's a lot of great things we've been working on. After the success of Bridge the Gap, I had a lot of superintendents and principals coming to me saying, hey, we love what Bridge the Gap is doing, but what do you have for the test scores? What do you have to help us on that end?
Right.
And at that point, I saw the problem that was going on in America as far as our education, and it's not the teacher's fault, it's not the superintendent's fault, it's not the student's fault. We're dealing with a outdated education system. It's set up to where everyone is meant to learn the same way, but that's not how it works. There's visual learners, auditory learners, kinesthetic learners. So I said, you know what? In order to fix this problem, we have to change the system. And although Bridge the Gap was helping with their social and emotional needs, there still was a major disconnect within the education part of them getting it and connecting. So I created, just like Bridge the Gap, I created a solution that will meet them where they are on the education end. And I took an additional 2 years off and produced over 500 songs that teaches everything in math, science, social studies, and English aligned with the state standards. And it's called curriculum. So, you know, we're launching in the fall, but we're doing beta testing now, and it is working great within the pre-K, elementary, middle school, high, our special education students. So it's been really great, and I'm just excited to be taking a stand for our youth on that side as well. That led to other partnerships. I actually designed my own tablet. Our tablets have the curriculum on there, as well as Bridge the Gap, and we can also load the textbooks that the students are using within the schools, and we also did a partnership with Khan Academy, so we're actually able to take it to that level. So my goal is to get into the education system and really have the kids, you know, connect and meet them where they are, so we can take our kids to the next level.
Wow. Kevin Khao Cakes, what's the connection between you and Dr. Ben Carson?
Wow. My relationship with Dr. Ben Carson and the true connection between the two of us is very simple. Our youth, making a difference, saving our babies. When I met Dr. Ben Carson and Armstrong introduced us, and he got a hold of my textbook, he read the book, and immediately he supported. Not only did he support by saying he liked it, he endorsed the back of the book. You know, that was huge for me because I was just getting started.
Right.
This is a legend. You know, this is my first book, and he supported and stood by it. He didn't know me from a can of paint, but he saw what I was doing, and he believed in it. And that meant the world to me. So he's been very supportive on the lines of Bridge the Gap and my endeavors with our youth. And I've been supportive when it came to Dr. Ben Carson and his Carson Scholarship funds. And so at that point, you know, it was just that common ground that always kept us connected with our youth. All right, I want to give shouts out to my wife, my 3 beautiful kids. I want to give shouts out to my team that helped make this song be what it is. You know, my man Jay Morris, Beth Spangler, Brittany Lewis, Nicholas Stonestreet, Jay Storm on the engineering end, my whole Bridge the Gap, my curriculum family, the Path, you know, our church. I want to thank William Benston, Sector 7, you know, they actually, you know, put the video together and we brought this thing to life.
How y'all
Sean, let's do the shot in the truck.
Yes, sir.
Shaleo, and what is the name of the crew, man?
7th Division.
7th Division? So Sector 7 and 7th Division, I like how that's all flowing together. A lot of us that came together in the mix to bring this thing into reality, so I'm really excited. I want to thank Armstrong Williams. I want to thank Anthony Carr, Dr. Ben Carson, and just the whole Carson America team. Most important, you know, I want to thank our youth, our babies, because that's what keeps me going and pushing forward to make a difference. But you know, I'm just excited, man. You know.